One.
Hi, we're your hosts, Anna Rocklina, and
Jedi Hill, aka Alchemist Jedi.
in today's episode, we will be talking about logos. And some of you might wonder, what is this Jedi's logo that he's been using on his books and everywhere else? And what is this, an occult logo?
Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out. So now,
Yes, let's dive.
before we get into my logo
hmm
and all the interesting symbolism and knowledge and everything else into that, let's actually look into some corporate logos. So let me
Ooh.
share my screen here and we are gonna have fun.
Ooh, so every company, a big company, they use a logo, right?
Big companies, all kinds of big companies use
Yeah,
logos. So
I'm curious.
let's
Yeah.
start with the fun one like Nike.
Yeah. Ooh,
Okay,
that's
it's
awesome.
just a little check mark. It can't be anything, right?
Yeah.
But it comes from the wing of night, the Greek goddess of victory.
Oh, wow. I didn't know
That's why
that.
Nikes just do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
So it's
Just do it.
so you have simple things like that,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Greek goddess of victory. So it is goddess.
yeah.
Wow, fascinating.
Okay, so there's one.
Okay.
Okay, let's have
Let's
some
see what
fun.
else.
Okay, so this one has some occult symbology. This is Troubleon.
Oh, I like that chocolate. Yeah, it's pretty good actually. Yeah.
Okay, so honey, why don't you explain what the word occult means?
Well, a cult actually means occult. So it's spelled
You up?
OCCULT.
Mhm.
So that actually means hidden. So it's hidden from you, from public knowledge.
Hmm.
And it's very important for you to know that because we are open book and we want the people to know what we represent. And that's why we make that secret occult knowledge available and transparent to you.
There you
Okay.
go. So with this one, you have the mountain and it's hiding the bear, which is the coat of arms of
Oh,
Bern, hidden
oh,
within the logo.
actually, I've never seen the bear there. I saw the mountain, but
And that's exactly what we mean by occult or hidden. If you know it's there,
yeah,
it shows up bright as day.
yeah.
If you don't, you don't.
But what's the meaning of the bear and the mountain? What are they?
It's for the coat of arms of Bern, where the
Oh,
company is made. So they
mhm.
represented, having the bear on their chocolate.
Oh, all
Okay. So this is fun. That's one of the
yeah,
lighter ones.
innocent ones.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the favorite big companies for people.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay. What is it?
The apple.
Apple.
Okay. The apple's got a bite out of it. And this is going back to Adam and Eve, the original sin. So apple's tied to the original sin.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Wait, so people who wait. Okay,
Yeah. It's
go
supposed to
on.
represent the apple that Eve bit from in the Bible for the fruits from the tree of knowledge.
Oh, okay. I
Now,
don't
it's
know.
really fun on that one. You actually get into the Bible, you'll find that the snake told the truth and it was God who lied. They didn't die right away when they ate the fruit of knowledge. They had to be cast out of the garden so they couldn't eat from the tree of life to live longer.
Okay.
But yeah, that's getting into a whole nother
Yeah,
story
yeah.
of
Let's not
how,
talk about. Let's
the,
not
the,
talk
the
about.
God of Adam and Eve is merely just the Anunnaki alien race and it's a false God. But we'll save more of that detail for another day.
Yes. Let's stick to the logos today.
Yeah, let's have fun. Okay, okay. My honey likes to drive Toyota.
Yeah, I had the yeah. I like Toyota.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, Toyota, for history and those who know it, is a real slap in the face to Americans. Toyota was one of the major Japanese generals in World War II.
Oh.
So this would be like Germany naming their car Hitler and then selling it in the US.
Oh. Oh.
So it has layers
Wait.
upon layers
Was
of.
Was there the war between? Okay, but that's
In World War II, yes,
yeah.
Japan was not on our side. Remember?
Oh,
They're the ones who bombed Pearl Harbor.
hey, I just like that vehicle. I did not know all this.
And
No, not Toyota.
okay, and you got the overlapping eclipses, which they were trying to symbolize a unification of the hearts of their customers. And you can actually spell the whole word Toyota by using the different symbols within the symbol.
Oh, that's actually the spelling.
Yeah.
Oh.
Toyota.
Oh. Oh, I see on the top. Yeah, okay. Huh. That's fascinating.
Okay. So all the different companies use the different symbolism and hidden things in their meanings. To give you, we'll go deeper on the base. You have the different levels of words, which I'll go deeper into in our things. But you have the base written word, then you have spoken word, and then you have symbols, seals, and sigils. And different levels of that will make the words and the symbols have more power and energy behind them.
It can empower you or disempower you. So that's very important to know those.
Oh yeah, all kinds of fun things.
Yeah.
A lot of them like to take the picture of the sun.
Oh, you go.
Yeah, so your guys, they're trying to go back to, your sun god Ra.
Hey.
And also, the halo above the head, if you want to look at the Christianity type thing. So built into the logos. Okay. Now let's start getting into some of the more fun, wild ones.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
This occult esoteric pentagram. Okay. Well, y'all need to learn the difference that the darkness has no symbols of their own. They can only pervert the symbols of the light. So the pentagram, which in this case is sealed within a circle, and it's pointing up, you have spirit over the four elements. So spirit over matter. And then when you're getting into, the more satanistic and things, they will turn the star upside down to symbolize matter over spirit. So they will pervert the symbols of the light to make it something interesting.
No, okay. Spirit first, which is God. Yes.
Yeah. Spirit, God, creator, source, whatever term you want to use, universe, don't care.
Source, love.
Yeah.
Light.
So Texaco, they've got the T for the Texaco. They've got the star, which represents man. Because the man is the embodiment of turning, the clay made flesh.
Okay.
If you all get that one. So it's literally the spirit animating the matter to create life. And that represents man, the microcosm.
What about the woman?
Well, man, woman, it represents mankind. Old English there. Doesn't mean to exclude women. It's man as in mankind.
Yes, we always need to include women. Men and women together.
So I'll pull up one on the shell next. That's going back to the Greek. For mobile, you have the Pegasus for the Greek cultures, the Amco, you have the torch, things like this. So all your major companies are using occult knowledge, hidden knowledge. There's two levels of this. You have what's known as exoteric and esoteric. Exoteric is what's basic common knowledge. And then esoteric is more specialized, that only a small group of people, whether that's, occult hidden knowledge or things like mathematics, science, physics, those are all, math is esoteric. Because there's only a small portion of the population that actually understand math, which is why most of you are broke. Or most of the population, and you get, that 5% to 1% that actually thrives, because the majority of people, 2 + 2 = 5 instead of 2 + 2 = 4.
Well, and that's why we need to We don't need to do anything, but this is what we're sharing with you so you learn and you can empower yourself
Yeah.
and become wealthy if you
Like,
choose to.
like we're in real estate. It's totally a math game.
Yes,
And I
absolutely.
can factor in risk of like, hey, I know within 10 years I'm going to have to replace hot water heaters. I might
Yes.
need a new roof. I might have foundation issues. So I factor all those in and make a mathematical formula to
Mhm.
say, ooh, is this going to make me money over long term or is it going to fail?
Yeah.
So I can take strategic calculated risk, unlike the stock market and Bitcoin where you're just gambling. And
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, so let's see what
Okay, so what's next? What's next?
we got him here. Okay, let's do
McDonald's.
the golden arches, right?
Oh.
They can be seen as ram's horns sticking out. They can also be seen as a pair of breasts and nursing. And then you have the yellow, the sun, the solar colors to try and bring you into it.
Happiness. Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
I look at it, look at happiness. Although I would not eat McDonald's. I don't eat McDonald's. I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
live a whole life. Homemade meals.
yeah, don't eat the poison if you can.
But yeah.
But okay, so that's a bad picture, but
Yeah.
Amazon, you're looking at some of that. You've got the square and compass from the Masons. The G in the center can be God, Gnosis, and other things. You have the apron in Gmail symbolizing
Wait, what's in Gmail?
the apron from the Masons. Let's see if I got a better pictures in all some of this. Yep. And then we
Nope, I
have,
did not know.
yeah, Masonic
Oh, we're
symbology
learning.
built
We're
into
learning
things.
jobs every day.
You know, like your Chrome logo, you got your 666 built into the logo. And
Okay.
Google's slogan is don't be evil.
Ah, well, that means people actually the brain does not read no or not.
Yeah, it can't
Or
process the negative. The
yeah,
subconscious
cannot
mind can't process the negative.
Yeah, so technically you see be evil.
Ooh, just like what's the other one? Planet Fitness.
Ooh.
The no judgment zone means judgment zone. And even in their commercials, they've got things like the lunk alarm. Because if you're actually in shape and you're in good health, you don't go to Planet Fitness. They don't want you to.
There are exceptions.
Well, of course,
Yeah.
there's exceptions, but the zone, the energy,
Oh, yeah.
is a judgment zone against healthy people. That's why they have pizza, bagel, and donut days at Planet Fitness so they can sabotage your health routine.
That's great. So you can come back.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. So another one for the sun symbol is your corona.
Ah.
Okay. So they want it to look like a sun.
Yeah. Happiness, light.
And then here's a fun one.
7-Up.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I mean, I see a red dot, right? And then 7 and up.
Uh-huh.
And
And
then some
it's
bubbles and
okay.
lines. And...
Now, 7, we're going into the Vedic, your chakra system. It's starting with the red root
the bubbles, the chakras, right?
Well, you're starting with the red for your root chakra, and it's 7 going up.
20.
Well, it's not the bubbles. Look at the 7-Up.
Okay.
The bubbles are the fizzy drink.
Mm.
But the 7 for the 7 chakras, you start out with the red and then go up your spine, up the chakras.
Oh.
So they're trying to give you that symbology that if you drink 7-Up, your energy levels are going to rise.
Oh, because of sugar, yeah, you'll feel the sugar rush, right? Right?
And then crash, yeah.
Ah.
Okay,
I don't drink
So
pop,
this is the one I was talking about, the apron. Let's see if this is
Just some
better.
electrolytes right now.
Okay, Apple App Store. Yet again, you're going back to the square and compass. You got Facebook.
Oh,
Was there
thumbs up?
turbine? The thumbs they added later. I didn't used to have the thumb up. And then like your Gmail is the Masonic apron that's worn around the waist.
Fascinating, huh?
Okay, so this is like the occult symbols. Okay, we'll do another one like MasterCard. This has the Vesca Pisces in it. with the overlapping circles.
Vesca Pisces?
Yes, Vesca Pisces. That is the fish symbol. That's the line between the two circles, and it's used many times to represent Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to give you that subconscious relation to Christianity in the symbology
I wonder
of
if
the logo.
we could do the study on that and see if
How many?
Yeah,
like that
Christians.
versus Visa
No,
and all
let's
that.
do
Yeah.
Study.
Okay.
What day?
Let's have a
I
fun
get
one.
bored. I love
Like
doing
y'all,
studies.
y'all need an energy boost, right? Their energy drink. It's made of the Hebrew alphabet, the Vav, which is the number 6, and it's 1, 2, 3 of them, and you get the number 666
Wait.
built into the energy drink.
Oh, the 6.
Yeah.
3 of them. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I see those. Oh.
Now, 666 is not
It's
the
not
bad. No, it's not. That is something.
Everybody thinks it is 666. You know,
But-
common stream.
But this is all the lies and everything the church has told you since the time you were a kid.
Okay, so what does the 666 mean? 666 mean.
666, it represents the physical.
Okay, so the physical, this realm, our body.
In biological, Ryan, you know how they're trying to do this environmental climate change and stuff, and we have to eliminate what from the air?
Carbon monoxide.
Carbon dioxide.
Oh, carbon
yes.
dioxide, yes. Uh-huh.
So in other words, you are the carbon they're trying to eliminate. Carbon has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. The base molecule of life is 666.
Okay.
So when they're trying to tell you bad, they're trying
That's
to tell
just
being physical
Is
is
bad.
bad.
Oh, okay. Oh, why did they start doing it though?
Because they want to manipulate and control the physical. So they're trying to adapt. You know, we did other videos on muscle testing showing how a lie will weaken the body. And try this one at home. You know, you put the arm out, ask, you know, are you your
Am I
name?
Anna? Ooh.
And you'll see the resistance.
Am I Anna? Hold on.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, I am.
And then, are you Jedi?
Am I Jedi?
And you see how it weakens. You try that, and I want you to look at a Roman cross, and then I want you to look at a plus sign. You will find in almost every case, the Roman Catholic cross will weaken you because it represents the church controlling light into man, so they can siphon the energy off of you.
Yeah, and your money.
Well, that too, but that's all another story.
Donations.
Oh yeah, that's a fun one. And with the Catholic Church and many others, they're actually getting you high and drugging you before asking for donations by using frankincense and myrrh, which give you a euphoric effect, so you're more likely to donate more.
So frankincense and myrrh. These are the 2 instances that give you a euphoric states.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they use at the church here, Catholic.
And you got another one here.
You'll feel good.
Walt Disney puts the 666 right into the word.
Well, the top one you wouldn't consider 666? Well, Disney on top of I.
Well, they consider that, yeah, the 6.
Yeah,
like, depending on how you see it,
it.
this will actually be open,
Yeah,
depending on them.
Yeah, I would.
But
Well,
that's-
and also that one. So it's technically there's 5.
You could see it, but this is where, you know, the people of how they think into
And
things.
5, what does 5 represent? There's also meaning behind 5.
5 is the kingdoms. That's the number
Yeah.
for man. Let's do a fun one, because not all of them are like.
I used to eat this ice cream when I got to United States. That was like 20 years ago. All the time. So tell me one.
Okay, so Baskin Robbins.
Yeah.
Okay, they have 31, or used to have 31 flavors.
Uh-huh.
So they put the number 31
Okay, that's innocent.
hidden into it.
What about this? Looks like an eye or a stick, and then something like squiggle. We don't know that.
Mhm. So you've got the curve of the B and the R. The logo is supposed to be fun and energy.
Yeah.
Not everyone gets as deep into things, and you know, 13 is the 31 is the inversion of 13. And you know, have a lunar cycle of 13 moons and all kinds of other things with the number 13. Dig into it.
13 is a
Fun number.
Yeah, it is a very fun number.
Okay. Um, some of the more simple ones that aren't, as weird, you have the Amazon.
Okay.
You've got the arrow from A to Z, which
A to
is
Z. Okay. So delivering in all states, technically, from A to Z, covering like all states or covering all bases.
and covering, they have everything that you could want to buy.
Okay.
And then they also use it to make the arrow like a little dimple on the side for a smile.
Ah,
So you can get anything from Amazon and you're going to leave with a smile.
yay.
Okay. FedEx.
Now we got our big ones.
Yeah.
FedEx.
So if you look in between the E and the X, what is there?
D.
No, in between the E and the X, not the E and the D.
Ah, honey, but I'm looking at the FedEx.
Yeah, look at just the E and the X. What is in between the E and the X?
Oh, arrow. Oh, you mean that? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like E after F and X, D, E. Okay, so you were asking.
No.
Oh, okay.
In
that,
between the
orange
E
one.
and the X.
Okay, gotcha. Arrow.
Right,
See that now.
and they're packing, they're moving this, like, it's going to get you where you want to go.
I didn't even see the arrow before. Thank you for pointing out.
So these are all the different things of symbology.
Okay, are we gonna get to your logo? Because I'm excited.
Yeah, I've only got
couple
like
more.
just one or two more. Nintendo Game Coop for the
Building
gamers.
suspense
Okay.
for Jedi's logo that you created.
So, okay, this is the black cube of Saturn.
Oh.
And you have a C in the negative space and the G in the outer space to represent Game Cube. So they're using some Saturn logic, and Saturn is the taskmaster, the lord of karma, would also relate back to your Titan, Kronos, and time.
Ooh, that's deep.
So now you get to see that all the big companies do this. And the one I forgot that I did in the preview the other day, Starbucks. This is actually a mermaid siren. To lure you in.
They lure you in.
Okay.
So you can have your Starbucks every
I
morning.
think I got them all. So let's go back to the fun. Yeah.
Yes. So here's what it is. Jedi's logo.
So I'll pull that so you can see it here on the screen.
Okay.
For the new Atlantean Society. So.
Okay, so I see we have a circle. We have a pentagram with two triangles.
Hexagram.
Hexagram, yes. And then we have a circle, another circle, some lines, 4 lines, different colors, and the dot.
There you go. So this is going to be fun. We got all kinds of different pieces here. So we'll go back here. Let me see if I put it here. So this is that center circle. This is what's known as a Native American medicine wheel. So you have the circle of life, the representation of the 4 directions, the 4 elements, as well as the 4 races of people.
Oh.
Let me pull up. This one's probably the easier to see it. Oh, no, it's not. There we go. That's the one that. So now this is symbolism and all kinds of things into this.
That makes sense.
Now I played with the colors on the elements on this one. I've got blue south, I've got red east, I got white north, and green west. So I pulled from some Celtic and other cultures to still keep it and tweak it a little bit to make it my own. But this is your base. You got your east, your fire, your south, your water, your west, your earth, and your north, your air. And hitting to the different seasons, the cycle, the principle of rhythm, and your hermetic principles are all thrown into that symbol. And then also, okay, because you were talking about how here, there's a little black dot all the way at the center and then out. So that represents what's known as the circumput. the
So-
beginning and the end, the alpha and the omega. And it also represents the sun,
Mhm.
and in alchemy, gold as well.
Mm.
So you can start to see all these things starting to layer and stack on
Mhm.
to the symbology of the logo.
Okay, so what about those triangles? One is flipped and one is
Okay, so the
Direct.
triangles we're gonna have fun with. Let me see here. Did I put them in? Oh, okay. Where is it? So you have it's a visual representation of a Merkaba cube, which is a three-dimensional,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the two triangles, which you have the feminine opening up,
Mm-hmm.
and then the masculine pouring down the blessings. So you have your light and dark, your microcosm and your macrocosm.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason the Jewish people use the Star of David, the Seal of Solomon, which is a triangle, is it represents control over the macrocosm or over creation itself.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Wait, so
Yeah.
these two triangles, what does it represent in your logo?
You have the north triangle is gold, the masculine,
Mm-hmm.
as well as the feminine.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have by the shapes, I'll show you here in a moment, all
Oh,
of the
yes.
Hebrew alphabet
You can see the gold and silver.
is
Triangles.
all within the hexagram. So it contains everything for communication within this one symbol. It also has, where is it? Okay. I'm not.
I see some triangles over there in between. Mhm.
Here we go.
Yes.
This isn't the one I wanted, but it still will show it. So within the two triangles, you have the fire as the main triangle,
Which is
the
gold.
water as the bottom, but then you also have the lines through the triangles, which will represent your air and your earth. The other thing with the center triangle that we showed the native mess wheel in alchemy, it also represents earth or terra. So you have the macrocosm,
Mhm.
and the idea for this logo is that anybody that looks at this logo, it will help bring them more into harmony with earth.
Yes, with the earth.
Because
I gotta ground myself again. Yes, earthing is good for you. Put the
so
bare
that
foot on the
gives
ground.
you, and I'll show you a fun one here on the Merkaba's cube, showing how they'll spin, and it gives you what we put in the Seal of Solomon for the two dimensions. The Seal of Solomon's also supposedly, along with the ring he was given by an angel, how he was able to control demons to build the temple. So there's all kinds of different symbology into different logos.
And what was his temple about?
The Temple of Solomon,
Mhm.
it was for the Jewish people. It's meant to be a thing to God, but and there's the other one I was looking for that shows you better of just the elements.
Oh, I like that. It's about
The fire, air, water, earth.
correspondence, right?
Yes.
The law of correspondence.
So that gives you a little overview of the symbology that's used in occult, the hidden knowledge in your symbols of everything you buy and use on a day-to-day basis, and why I built the logo as I did.
All right. That was a good, very knowledgeable and very enlightening, Jedi. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, actually, I learned myself today. Thanks.
So feel free, ask any questions.
Yes,
I'd
ask
love to hear
questions.
your thoughts, and we'll get this posted here shortly.
Yeah.
Peace, everybody.